Hello, everyone. Hope you are well on this Sunday morning. I'm going to talk about a lot of feedback that I'm getting from you guys, the viewers to this channel. I'm also going to talk about feedback that we have been getting from other people we know in person, friends, from some family, and people from church. And frankly, people that when we're out and about, we overhear conversations. Not that we're trying to eavesdrop or anything like that. Well, I know I'm not. I don't think Mrs. Dawg is either. But things that we overhear, and it's very similar to what I am hearing from you guys. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to also talk about what Miss Dawg and I, when we were out and about yesterday, our observations in the stores, especially with regard to the talk about shortages and such as that. We'll talk about that. And what else? I have a very good passage that I will share towards the end that I believe will be a boost to your faith. If your faith is a little low, and sometimes it changes sometimes, and that's normal. We're human. I believe it will be a big boost. So stay tuned for that. But first, what in the world? Am I the only? I don't think I'm alone in this opinion. Is that and I know not everybody follows Twitter, and I don't spend a lot of time on it. To me, it's weird. I don't. It doesn't really. I don't know. I just maybe I haven't tried it long enough. I have a presence on there as the same name, Prepper Dog. But what is the deal with this new emblem, this branding, this logo, this X? To me, I know it probably has something to do with when Mr. Musk bought them. I'm sure that's part of it. But why the X? I mean, that's a little creepy to me. I don't know. To me, it has like I don't know why I can't put my finger on it, but it has a creepy feel to it for me. That's just me. What do you guys think if you're even into that social, that platform? Anyway, that's just something I've been thinking about. Feedback from viewers. Interesting. And like I said, we hear this just overhearing people out in the community as well, but several things as far as feedback from you guys. Power outages. We are in a heat wave now. Most of the country is, not everybody is. Again, I'm jealous of you guys that are like in the 60s in degrees, 60 degrees in Maine or a mountain in Hawaii. I'm very jealous of you guys right now. However, I know in the winter those tables will probably turn. But power outages. Now I'm hearing from a lot of you guys that most of the country is in a heat wave, and yes, we're in almost in August, so that is normal. That is summer. Especially down here in the South and a lot of places in the country, it's going to be hot. So, but I'm hearing from many of you that power outages are increased to where in the years past this wasn't the case. So even though there's not a storm coming right over you, there's a lot of power outages. It's temporary, from a few minutes to hours. And a lot of people are saying the same thing, that this is rare for us. We don't typically have power outages unless it's something really big, a big weather event, but we're having them often right now. So that is raising alarms. And I'm hearing this not just from one part of the country. I'm hearing this from Florida, some in Georgia, Mississippi, Montana, just all over, just scattered all across the country. So share again if you're seeing this as well. So that's power, like rolling little temporary power outages. All right. Store shelves. Now there's a big deal. We hear a lot about rice being out and all that kind of stuff. Now, I think that may depend on location. I know when we were out yesterday, we went to several stores. Walmart was one of them. No problem with rice here. Now we're in a little nook of North Georgia here, not far from Athens. And the rice was a little low as far as the large bags, but it was available. There was, you could still buy it. There was no limits. Now the smaller bags of rice and the other forms in the box and all that, plenty of it, very well stocked. But the larger um, bags of it were a little lower, but again, you could buy it even at Walmart. It was available. Okay, so there's that. And by the way, other things on the shelves were very well stocked here. I mean, pasta, all your non-perishables, everything looked very well stocked for now. That starts to change. I'm going to talk about it, of course. You know that we are stocking up on, and I encourage you to still continue to stack. Things like pasta. I mean, we're gluten free as far as that kind of thing. So we grab an extra a box of the gluten-free pasta when we can find it, especially when there's a good buy on it, a sale, buy one, get one free, whatever. Just preparing. We don't eat a lot of that in the summer, of course, but we're stocking up. I continue. Again, continue to keep stacking canned things, canning. If canning is your deal, as far as food preservation, you can do that. Vacuum seal, freeze, mix in the freeze dried stuff, things that have long shelf life. I think we still need to keep doing that. Okay, don't get complacent on it. Rotate it out as far as when things have long expired. All right. I'm seeing a lot of people. I'm getting messages too about people that are going ahead, if they're able, go ahead and doing renovations right now. If you're doing additions or projects right now, I think now is I know it's expensive. It might be a lot more expensive 6 months from now to a year from now. So a lot of people are trying to get that kind of stuff done. I'm hearing from other folks that they're pooling resources, multi-generational, building a compound. I'm hearing that too, more and more than I ever have. Something to think about. People are buying RVs and living out of them while they try to put an addition to the house for other family to come in or friends. Again, pooling resources, security, such as that, circling the wagons. And it's probably time. It's past time to do that. Something to think. Everybody's situation is different. But I think with the rising cost of living, of everything from food to energy to just trying to keep up with the bills, I think that we're going to see that increase as far as trying to come together more and do what we can to survive this. It's going to require adjustments. I believe we are going to see times get much tougher. My concern is, when enough people have their backs against the wall and they have no hope and they're struggling and they can't keep up, they can't keep their head above the water no longer. You only have to pick up a history book to realize what happens next. Okay. I believe it is coming. I believe we are approaching a tipping point. I believe that we are fast approaching a time to where we will see conflict. We will see conflict here. I pray that it will be nonviolent, or I pray that if uh, it is not peaceful. I pray that it'll be a peaceful one. If it's not, I pray that it will be limited. Okay, but I don't think it will be. I don't think it will be limited. I don't think it will be peaceful. I don't. And I don't believe 2024, an election cycle, is going to save us. No, it's not. And I base that on recent history, like 2020, if you know what I mean. That's my thoughts. Um, so yeah, when you get to a point where people are productive and they're used to being able to pay the bills, and now they can't because of certain things. The rise, like I said, of everything, your taxes, property taxes, insurance. Well, what are we getting for all this? The streets still are terrible. It takes forever to build a bridge. You know, the schools should be lined, the floor should be lined with gold. I mean, with the property taxes you're paying, I mean, and it's not just one area. I hear this from all over the place. It's not just in this country. As far as cost of living and inflation, it's a global thing. It's an effort, and I believe It's an effort at feudalism 2.0. It is. It is. And I'm convinced of that. Uh, and I'm seeing a lot of social media posts also on people that are struggling that aren't used to struggling. You know, they're suddenly uncomfortable and worse. I saw a video, you may have seen it. I believe it was California or somewhere out west. Might have been Oregon, but where this person was driving and it just went on for miles. There were campers, RVs, campers lining both sides of the street for miles. It just went on and on. Now, these weren't pristine campers, you know, parked beside an ocean view. These were old, broken down, you know, probably no power sources where people are homeless basically or just living out of them. And it just went on and on. This is the United States of America. And it just kept going. I mean, it wasn't just a little stretch, like a quarter of a mile or nothing. It was unreal to see that. Sad, you know, and to watch that, you're like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. You know, it's like it just keeps on. And it's hard to describe. And but that is reality that when and I think that's just the beginning of it. I think we're going to see that kind of stuff every place, just about everywhere. The town we live in, you know, we weren't far from home yesterday coming back from some shopping. Rare to see here, but we saw a panhandler uh, very close to where we live. And you're like, I know, dog, that happens. But I'm used to seeing that in the bigger towns, but I've started to see it more uh, closer to our doorstep, you know, and I believe that's going to increase. I believe it will be. Now, was this person truly homeless? I don't know. I mean, Mrs. Dawg was like, that guy looks really homeless. Now, I don't know. I work with some homeless, and so you know, that varies, you know, but I believe he probably was. You know, not all the people in these campers, what I was talking, the one I was talking, the thing I was talking about a minute ago, you know, not all of them are lazy, good for nothing drug addicts. I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, they all got there in different, you know, some similar ways, I'm sure, but not all of them are just good for nothings. You know, this is different. We didn't see this 5 to 10 years ago. Not on this scale. Not on this scale. But we're also overhearing things in public that people are talking about the same thing. They're trying to figure out ways to get around this cost of living issue and pool their resources, come together, live together if you can. You know, it's not for that's not for everybody. And if you don't have to, if you're part of the haves and you have resources and you have that disposable income, you are blessed, believe me. But I believe that with what's coming and what we're seeing, no matter what resources you have, no matter what your income is, you're going to be impacted or already are being impacted from this already. And or you will be unless you've just won the mega millions or the Powerball. And that's not many of us. So that's my thoughts there. But yeah, we're overhearing a lot of that. A lot of frustration, a lot of just straight out anger. It's more than frustration. It's anger. It's anger, y'all. It really is. It is time to circle the wagons. I know, I say that before. I keep saying it. And the other thing we hear, I know a lot on other video, other content creators, and I've said it. I know, get your houses in order and get out of debt. Get out of debt now. Well, that's easy to say. I mean, you know, that's easier, much easier said than done. It's not realistic for everybody. You can work towards it, and I definitely say work towards it as much as you can, you know. But if you can't even hardly, you know, your rent or your house payment's gone up 2, 3 fold, and your insurance and taxes, you know, there's a lot of times there's nothing left. I mean, what are you going to do? You can't push more to the credit cards. A lot of people can't. If you are, you're blessed. Please do it. But Most can't. They're drowning already. What do they have to put towards that? So that, I know that's frustrating. You know, share your thoughts on that. What are you doing? You know, what are you doing to beat this? It is frustrating. I know it is. Okay, I have a passage before I get too far out of the in the weeds here with this. I know this passage is from Isaiah. Mrs. Dawg has been doing the Bible app. There's a Bible app program that you can do. Uh, she can give you more details on it, but it's a daily thing where you listen to a passage in the Bible. It goes from cover to cover. It goes from Genesis through Revelation, and it's a year-long thing. And right now they are on. You hear passages, and then you hear an interpretation or a narrative about it. But it's really good. I don't always agree with the interpretation and stuff, but I think that's normal. You know. But they're in Isaiah now, and I tell you what, I've always liked Isaiah, and but they're on. This is in chapter 53, where he is, and it's pretty obvious who he's talking about here. I think it's very encouraging. So this is Isaiah chapter 53, verses 4 through 6 says, "Surely he has borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we esteemed him stricken, smitten by God, and afflicted. But he was pierced for our transgressions, he was crushed for our iniquities. Upon him was the chastisement that brought us peace, and with his wounds we are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned every one to his own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all." Amen. This is in Isaiah, talking about Jesus, of course. Our true Savior, our Redeemer, the ultimate advocate for us. So if that doesn't give you a little boost, I don't know what can. Check your pulse, ask questions, but share your thoughts. But keep this in mind. This is an awesome passage. I'm probably going to keep reading from Isaiah for a while, or off and on, But anyway, let's be safe out there. Continue to stack and prepare. God bless you. I'll see you soon.